What is up, y'all? Welcome back to Chosen Price Chats. I'm joined this morning by Corey Keddy. Keddy collects the former Camex King. How you doing this morning, Corey?
Doing good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on. I'm doing great. Happy to have you.
Yeah,
So
I'm
just to
excited to
get
talk
right
some
into,
Pokemon with you.
dude, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I guess before we get into that though, outside of catching Pokemon or catching them all, what do you do for like a living, I suppose?
Well, I work at Walgreens right now. I did work in the pharmacy for a little bit,
Mm,
but I got my Florida pharmacy technician license, and but I
sweet.
no longer work in the pharmacy. I got out of it. It wasn't for me.
Oh man, just not the workflow you're looking for.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool experience, but it just wasn't for me. I'm more like it was too much, too much.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. So besides work though, I guess what do you do for fun besides, you know, collecting cards and stuff like that?
Well, when I was younger, I skateboarded a lot. I did that, but I recently had like a back injury, so I haven't been skating. So I've just been collecting Pokemon, playing video games.
Heck yeah.
But
Dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've actually been dealing with back issues recently too, and it's terrible. It's like debilitating.
yeah, it's one of the like something in my spine was pushing on a nerve, so now it's not so much my back, but mainly like nerve pain that's going down my leg. So skateboarding is done.
Oh
But it's
my
fun. I got
gosh.
Pokemon now.
You got Pokemon now. I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, I'm glad you got Pokemon
Yeah.
now. So, yeah, I guess where did your Pokemon journey begin then?
Well, when I was a kid, I collected Pokemon big during jungle. So I grew up in Canada. I live in Florida now, but where I lived in Canada, there was a big Asian influence, so Pokemon was very popular in Canada. So when I was younger, my grandpa would give me some change. I go down to the store at the end of my street, and it was like a little, almost like a bodega type thing, like New York has. Like they just had like food, a deli, and the guy would always have like jungle booster box or a fossil booster box up at the front. And I would just grab some packs, and I collected a lot when I was a kid. Stopped like most people. I got back into it in like 2019, just because it was like right around COVID time, a little bit before everything was like shutting down. And I was just in Target. I kept seeing the Pokemon, and I kept telling my wife, I'm like, we should just open some packs, open a couple of
Yeah.
packs here and there. And then finally, like the skate park closed down because COVID, so I couldn't skate. I was like, what can I do? So we just started collecting, and that's where it started. And I haven't stopped since. As you've seen on my Instagram, I kind of sold my collection, started collecting only Blastoise, sold my Blastoise collection recently. Now I'm back to collecting all Pokemon, all the cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like super interesting. I guess I was that's one of the things I wanted to ask is I was going
Yeah,
through and I
sorry for the long
saw
story.
no, I that's what I want to hear honestly. But yeah, what did what made you shift from, all Pokemon to just Blastoise initially?
So firstly, I want to say it was my biggest regret in collecting Pokemon cards. I wish I never. It was a cool experience switching over to Blastoise, and it was fun to only collect that one Pokemon. But I wish I never did it. I wish I just kind of slowed down on other stuff and switched to Blastoise instead of getting rid of my old cards. Because now I'm back to it, and I wish I never got rid of them. But it initially started because I was feeling burnt out. I was collecting high end cards, and I just was putting them in my binder, and I didn't really feel like super attached to them at the time. I felt like that. So I was like, if I just shift to only Blastoise, maybe it'll give me like more drive to keep collecting. And it did. But then after I collected every single Blastoise card that's been printed from English and Japanese, every single one, every form, every variant, even certain graded ones. I was getting into graded cards. But then I started missing collecting all the other Pokemon. I started seeing all the new sets come out, and I was like, I've already collected all the Blastoise cards. I don't know what to do, so it shifted back to just me collecting everything again, and I love it. I recommend anybody that wants to get into collecting one species of Pokemon to maybe do it on the side, and I don't know. I just think collecting all Pokemon is just too much fun to just collect one.
For sure. Yeah, I've seen some pretty dedicated species collectors, but I feel like a lot of them also do have it as like just a part of their collection. So yeah, that's a
Yeah,
really good point.
everybody I've talked to that's been, because while I was collecting Blastoise, I had a lot of interactions with species collectors, and a lot of them would collect like a Jolteon or their Pokemon that they like, but they would also have their collection of other Pokemon too. I was just Blastoise, and I think that's where I kind of made the mistake. It was fun though. It was a good mistake. It wasn't
For
it
sure.
wasn't bad collecting Blastoise. It was fun.
Oh yeah. So when you were collecting Blastoise as well, you were also collecting slabs, and not so
Yeah.
much anymore. What made you shift from like going away from Blastoise and graded cards, I suppose?
Well, I've never been like really big into graded cards. I prefer raw. But whenever I was only collecting Blastoise, like there's only so much raw you can collect, and I started off with just like raw and picking up slabs every once in a while. I just prefer the raw cards over graded, but there's only so much of the Blastoise cards, so I started like kind of picking up graded, and it was cool. I never graded myself, so I would just pick them up randomly, but it was just because I didn't really have a lot to collect with the raw, so that's why I
Gotcha.
kind of collected a little bit of graded cards.
Gotcha. And now that you're strictly raw, what are you just keeping them all in binders at this point?
Yeah.
Any displays
Yeah,
or
I know
anything?
some people don't like the binders. Some people are like, don't put those expensive cards. I have some pretty expensive cards that are just sitting in binders, but I've never had an issue with my cards. I use the Voltex binders that zip up. They're really good quality. I've never had issues with them. Of course, I don't use like, I'm not gonna put $1,000 card in a 3-ring binder, but I take good care of my stuff, so I feel like it's okay to use binders.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I've got slabs and stuff out there, but I've also just got a binder full of some of my favorite cards. I mean, I feel like the 3-ring binders were definitely an issue, but the new binders are super good. They keep cards in great condition, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
So,
There's nothing wrong with like graded cards or anything. I'm not like against them. I just prefer not to. I prefer to hold the cards.
oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely understand that. So, I guess how do you feel about like collecting in 2024? Like how do you think it compares to when you first got back into it in 2019?
I I think there's definitely a lot more people in it just to make money. I think it's like a lot. It's blown up in popularity with. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just when I first started collecting, there was a lot of people that would, open a booster box of evolutions or something on live, and people would just join and do box breaks together. And now it's almost like you don't see people opening boxes unless it's for like a rip and ship or like for like they're selling it or whatever, which is fine. I mean, I would love to do Pokemon for a job, it'd be cool, but there's just a lot more like business aspect to the collecting these days as opposed to when I started collecting. Like me and my wife, we would open like Evolutions boxes. We would get Generations boxes. I'd go to Walmart and get like blisters of Cosmic Eclipse, ETBs of like Breakpoint and stuff, or Breakthrough. Just it was just more about ripping and stuff when I first started, and now it's like people are scared to open those things on their lives and stuff.
Dude, yeah, they're gonna miss out on the potential value if they don't get the big hitter or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, it
No,
was more
yeah,
about just ripping and having fun back then, but I get it. It's expensive. Like if you buy some of those expensive products, like you don't really want to rip it and pull like just a full art or something. So I get it, but it's just different. It was also cheaper, to buy stuff back then. Like
for
Evolutions
sure.
boxes were like $85. Me and my wife were getting them for like, because places, it was hard to sell them. Nobody liked Evolutions. Now they're like,
Yeah, that's
I don't even know what they are
that's
now, but they're up there.
yeah, that's crazy. I always heard that. Like, I got back in early 2021, and always heard like just before that. I think when I got in, Evolutions had just got like to 750 or something like that, and I always heard like 2 years ago that places couldn't sell them for cheap enough. Like GameStop would try to get rid of them for like $1 a pack, and they couldn't. So that's insane.
Oh yeah, Evolutions was they were like boxes at Walmart that were they had like a bunch of promos. I don't remember what they were called, but they would sit there because they had like there was mainly Evolutions in there, and people were like, I don't want that reprint. It's not
That's so
worth it.
funny.
But
Too funny.
yeah,
So I guess we kind of discussed this a little bit in the DMs. You kind of remind me of Red's Pika a little bit with your collection because y'all kind of just have a little bit of everything. Do you have like a collection goal, or is it just kind of like whatever makes you happy in Pokemon is kind of what you're after at this point?
yeah. I don't have any collection goal at all. I'll have like months or weeks or whatever where I like kind of want to focus on certain things. Like right now, I was focusing on Unseen Forces. I wanted to get like some EXs from that set because to me that set is probably one of the best like kind of mid like era sets. Kind of older, but kind of mid era. But like the Lugia, the Umbreon, the Espeon, I wanted to pick those up. Those were like some I was wanting, but I just recently picked up a pretty big card, so I'm kind of right now. I'm just not really looking to buy anything right now.
For sure.
But yeah,
Um,
I just kind of pick up whatever I search online. Just like I'll search like keywords like Japanese Pokemon or Japanese Mew or like Pokemon I like or sets I like or I'll see someone post on Instagram, they'll post a cool card I haven't seen before, I'll look it up, I'll do my research on it and maybe pick it up. But I kind of just go with the flow with collecting. I just collect what I like and certain cards I go after. But
oh heck yeah. So, I guess you collect modern, and talking about unseen forces. I guess how do you feel about the Umbreon Vmax alternate art being like twice the price of like the Umbreon EX from Unseen Forces from like 2004 2005?
yeah, I think it's crazy, honestly. Like to just be short about it. I think it's wild. I think some of these modern cards that are getting crazy in price, I think they should be like I don't know. Pokemon is it's a market where you make your own prices, Like let's say this guy over here, he'll pay that much for it. It's so as long as people are willing to pay it, then it's not going to come down. And I just think it's crazy because I think a lot of people don't do research on some of the older stuff because there's so many amazing cards that you can get. There's like trophy cards, like Japanese promos that are super hard to get. You can get those for cheaper than the Umbreon Vmax that you can pull at. You can go to a card shop and pull it, and I know it is hard to pull, but it's crazy to me. These modern prices, it's wild.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. I just but yeah, it is if people are willing to pay it, that's the price kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I got delivery. I got delivery. 1 second.
yeah, sounds good.
Hey, back up. Hey, thank you.
Purple. Sorry.
All right. Sorry.
No, all good. Yeah, I
Got
guess
my morning
that's
beverage.
absolutely, cheers. I got mine. But
Perfect.
that's a good segue because I wanted to ask, how is it being able to share this passion with your wife, with Tiffy Cakes on Instagram? How is that?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm lucky enough to have a wife that loves like all the same things as me. So she loves Pokemon just as much as me. Her collection, when we first started collecting, was like actually better than mine. If you could have seen
Uh,
it, but she sold her collection and got out of the hobby. But she still likes opening packs and stuff.
Heck yeah. Yes. So I guess if you don't mind me asking, why did she decide to leave the hobby? I know she posts some cards every now and then, and now and again, but
Yeah, it was just mainly because she was just doing other stuff. She she has a full time job and then she does other stuff on the side and it was just a lot to collect and focus on the other stuff, I think. And she would just I think she liked it a little too much.
that's funny.
She would buy a little too many cards, but
I can relate. I can relate. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. That's so funny.
yeah, we can all.
So, you have been buying a lot of a lot of different cards, and I see you actually tag a lot of sellers on Instagram, and even say, or I got this card from eBay. I feel like it's. I already know your answer, but what do you prefer to do? Buy a card off of someone on Instagram or from an eBay seller or Mercari or something like that?
Yeah, I prefer to buy on Instagram from people that I know because you can like see the card condition, be more comfortable, especially if you're buying from somebody that you know on there. They'll definitely let you know like, hey, there's a little nick in the corner or like this or that. If you buy on eBay, I've kind of been having some issues with buying on eBay, so eBay's kind of hit or miss. Mercari, I shop on there. I'll just look up random stuff on Mercari. Mercari's not where I search for a certain card, it's just where I kind of randomly browse. eBay, I'll search for like a certain card that I'm looking for, but the condition, I've been dealing with sellers that kind of hit you with the angles, the postcards kind of where you don't see the imperfections, and I've been dealing with a lot of that on eBay. So actually another topic that I was going to let you know about or talk about is that even though I collect raw, I buy graded cards sometimes, like sevens, eights, nines, if the price makes sense, to crack them open and to keep them raw. Sometimes you can find, especially in modern, you can find nines for cheaper than raw, clean prices. And then vintage, you can find sevens and eights sometimes cheaper than like a clean raw. So it's worth it to buy graded just to crack open sometimes.
Absolutely. That is a great point, and something I kind of something that's kind of like mind-boggling to me, especially with like the modern nine thing, because it's grading is still subjective at the end of the day. So most of the times, if you're cracking a modern nine, it's probably a 10. It's a 10 kind of thing, but
Yeah,
without the 10 number. So it's crazy.
yeah, exactly. I think nines are nines are tens and tens are nines, and it's up to the grader that day. So you can buy a nine and you can buy a 10, crack them both, look at it. They're essentially like the same card, depending on the grader, because it's a person that's grading those cards. So that's another reason why I kind of don't really collect graded. I bought sevens before that are so clean. I don't see anything wrong with them. Like no scratches on the hollow, no edge wear. And then I've cracked like eights or nines, and they have like a little micro crease or something that the grader didn't see. So I don't know if you saw, but I've had two bad experiences with Becket. I got an 8.5 Japanese mudkip that had like a really bad back. Like it had scratches, a deep indent. The front was clean, and then I had that 4-position only Blastoise that had a crease in it, and it was a 9. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I cut out there for a second. You had two bad experiences with Beckett. What were the cards?
oh yeah, it was a Japanese Gold Star mudkip, and it was an 8.5, and the back of it had like heavy scratches, almost
No.
like it had just like this centralized damage point where the back of it had like an indent, scratches, and it got an 8.5 and it got like a 9 on surface. And then you probably seen my 4-position only Blastoise that I recently traded away, but it was a
Yeah.
9 that had a crease in it and it got a 9.5 surface. And I don't know how they missed that, but
Wow. Yeah. That is not great, especially for an FPO Blastoise. Oh my gosh.
I know. I was sad when I first got it, but the reason why I didn't return it and I ended up keeping it at the time was because for the price I got it for, I would have paid that price for a raw with a little crease. So I was like, I think it's fair to just keep it. It's such a rare card, like you're not gonna be able to find it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So I guess do you ever see yourself stopping, or is this kind of like something where you're like, this is probably going to be the hobby for your rest of your life kind of thing?
I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. I know there was when I collected, and then I didn't quit, but I switched to Blastoise, and then with Blastoise, I almost quit because I didn't think that I would enjoy getting back into the hobby after selling my whole collection. But I just didn't feel right about quitting, so I ended up selling my Blastoise collection with the money I got from the collection. I rebuilt it, and now I'm feeling like I'm just back, and I'm gonna keep going and gonna be here for a while probably.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love seeing your stories of the cards you're picking up and the cards you're cracking and stuff like that. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. What are you collecting right now?
Um, Honestly, I've got like a little bit of everything, and then like right behind me, I got some Politoads. Politoed is probably like one of my favorite Pokemon. And then he's
I
got
love
not
Polytoad.
very. Oh yeah, it's so goofy. It's such a fun Pokemon, and so he doesn't have very many cards. Polito doesn't have very many cards, so I'm just trying to get my hands on one of all of those cards, and kind of just been delaying getting like the last two Japanese cards I need because I'm like, I don't really want to find a new goal right now. So, but
Hey, there you go. That's smart.
yeah, but honestly, I do like the Chosen Price collectibles. It's like my eBay store. I do a lot of reselling, and I'll buy collections. And if I get like an incredibly damaged card or something like that, I'll just keep it in my binder and stuff. So I've got a collection of damaged cards, cards that I've got from people like in the hobby that they'll just like give me with something I buy, or they'll just send to me. I'm really into the Digimon card game, probably more than Pokemon at this point, just because it's a little cheaper and more accessible. But
That's
yeah,
cool. I I actually I never collected the cards, but I used to love Digimon when I was younger. I had like a Sega Dreamcast with like this Digimon game on it where you could like train them at like this little camp and stuff. I don't remember what the name was, but I love Digimon. I still think like if I got a hold of some cards, it would be fun to open them. I still remember them. I don't remember all their names, but I only watched like the first little bit. So if there's any newer ones, like new generations or anything, I wouldn't know about those. But
dude, yeah. I I cannot recommend Digimon enough. Like if you're ever like at a Walmart or something like that and you see a couple packs, almost every set has like at least some of the originals in them. Like the textures are incredible. They're made by like Bandai, same as like One Piece, so they're just they're really quality cards, really quality art.
So they look nice, yeah.
Oh yeah, but yeah, yeah, I kind of gave not gave up on like collecting, but I sold. I had a really big binder full of like all, not all, but a ton of stamped Delta species Pokemon, and and like a Gold Star Zard, and I sold that to kind of start my reselling business, and I've kind of just not really collected much or very diligently since then. So I'll kind of get stuff here and there, but not much really.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think, you know, no regrets, no regrets, honestly. It's been going pretty good.
That's awesome.
So,
Glad to hear that.
oh, thank you. So what is I guess what does Pokemon mean to you? You know, it's something you've grown up with since a kid or had in your life since you were a kid and stuff like that. So, what does Pokemon mean for you and, you know, kind of your life?
Um, well, it was a big, huge part of my childhood. Like I collected very heavy when I was a kid. And growing up and getting back into the hobby has been, I don't know, it's probably my favorite thing to do right now. Just like if you ask my wife, I'm like always looking up cards, always researching cards, always like wanting to watch the show on TV or like it's just been great. It's given me something to, you know, just do on my time off. It's something that you don't have to invest a lot of money into or time. You can, but you can also just watch YouTube or just get on Instagram, post cheap cards. Like you don't have to collect crazy cards. It's a hobby that you can just enjoy, whether you have a lot of money, don't have a lot of money, have a lot of time, you don't have a lot of time. It's just I don't know, it's just a good hobby, and I love Instagram's a big part of me enjoying it because interacting with everybody, and I feel like if Instagram wasn't around to share your collection or talk to people, maybe it would be a little less fun. I do have some friends that live around me that also collect, but it's, I don't know, Instagram's a big part of Pokemon being fun for me.
Dude, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's definitely fun to be able to share with so many people and, you know, get to see what other people are doing as well. So I'm with you. I love that you still watch the show. I ended up rewatching the Indigo League with my girlfriend not too long ago. But do you watch how much do you watch past the Indigo League? Like which series and which leagues do you go for?
So I kind of just slap on random episodes from random seasons. I'm not really big into sitting down and watching like a whole season through, or I just kind of see what's on either like whatever streaming service we're using at the time. I just kind of pick a season, pick an episode, and just start watching. And I've never really been big into like starting from episode one and watching. I'm not really big on watching TV, so I'll just like throw on some shows or the movies. Like the movies are fun to watch. You have those on your streaming devices or streaming apps.
Heck yeah. So I guess what are some of the YouTube accounts that you watch? You know, you said you know if you don't go on Instagram, you're going to YouTube. Who are some of the people that you find that are really interesting to watch in the hobby?
So my favorite person to watch on YouTube is Cool Trainer Ryan. He is hilarious. I know some people like think he's a little harsh or whatever, but I think he's hilarious and he's just honest. Like, so I enjoy watching him. I used to watch Max Mofo a lot, but he doesn't really do Pokemon anymore. He kind of just does that Cold Ones like show now. And then of course like the vendor POVs, like I remember like when those first came out, I was like, man, I wish more people did this, and then it like blew up. So,
Yeah, that's super
but
interesting.
that's pretty much
I
it. I don't really watch like the main big people like
Yeah,
PokeRev or Leonhard or any of those people. I don't really tune into those ones, but I dabble in
yeah.
some different channels.
That's funny. I actually just started, you know, like a Collecticon last year. I brought one of my friends, who's on Instagram, Janie, who also does like a little bit of collecting. He's a mudkip collector, and we ran into Bulbas Store, and he ended up grabbing one of the Bulbas Store shirts. And now Bulbas Store does like the vendor POVs on YouTube, and I really enjoy those vendor POVs. Those are some really interesting content. I think it's interesting to see, the back and forth and kind of the deals being made and stuff like that. Super cool.
Yeah, and Bulbasaur is definitely like the top one. He's definitely like got the best vendor POVs for sure.
Oh, nice. I haven't really checked out any besides him, so glad to know I don't really need to look any further.
Yeah, I have like some of my friends that do the vendor POVs. Oh, you want to come in here? Come on. Sorry, my dog wanted it. If you know Parkmon V4 on Instagram, he just
Sounds
started doing the vendor
familiar.
POVs, and he's got like pretty good quality videos as well.
Nice. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I completely agree with you where Instagram is a big part of, why I like to collect and like being able to share that experience and see other people's who are like some people on Instagram who you really enjoy kind of interacting with and, sharing that experience with and, you know, just things along that nature.
Um. Oh, I have I have so many people that that I like on Instagram or interact with on the daily. God, there's just there's just so many from like people that do claim sales. Like there's Parker, there's Jeepster cards. Those two people help me out a lot in my collection. There's there's just people that post like gym leader Taylor. He always posts like really good stuff. I have another friend, Grim Horizon, on Instagram. He's always posting good stuff, and we talk pretty often on there. There's just oh man, there's just too many people to list and talk about. I'd be here for like an hour listing everybody I like, but there's just so many good accounts on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I guess, what is a hot take you have about Pokemon or something you think might be a hot take about Pokemon card collecting?
Let's see. Seal collecting is I don't like it. I know a lot of people love collecting sealed, but my take on that is it's made to be opened. So if I if I bought something, even if it's expensive, I'm opening it. I know a lot of people are just. I'll talk to people like, "Oh my God, you opened that," or I can't like. I'll get graded cards that I collect raw. People will message me and be like, "I can't believe you cracked that open," and I'm just. I feel like everyone should collect how they want. I don't have anything against people that collect sealed, but it's just my take on it is meant to be opened.
Dude, I'm right there with you. We're you know two wings of or two birds of a flock or however that saying goes. I
Yeah, whatever that's saying.
Yeah, yeah. I opened so many, not so many, but like I would just buy vintage packs when I first started and open them because I was like, this is what I had as a kid. I want to do this again. Like the first uh when I first got into it, I bought a Sandstorm pack because I was like, oh, that's where I kind of stopped, EX Sandstorm, and I ripped it, got the Kabutops EX, and that was crazy. That was probably one of the peak collecting memories. So
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah, I'm with you. If I buy something, it's getting opened. It It doesn't matter if it's vintage or not. I don't really buy vintage packs anymore, and even in 2021, stuff like that was a bit cheaper, so that made it a little less painful. But yeah, I'm with you. I love just
Yeah.
ripping stuff.
Yeah, and there's been times where, I get some stuff, spend like X amount of money, and it's a decent amount of money. You rip it and you don't really get any value. You get some value, but nothing crazy. But I just feel like that's part of the hobby. I just feel like sealed stuff should be opened. I want to see people get stuff, and then I want to see the next story be like what they opened and what they pulled from it, even if they didn't get anything. I don't know. That's just how I feel like it should be. But I know a lot of people like collecting sealed, so there's got to be some fun to it for some people besides an investing. I get the investing side of it. They want to keep it and hold it and maybe resell it in the future, but some people like holding it and the way the box looks or whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah, I know one of the people I had on and someone I talk to a lot, and we have a lot of differences in collecting opinions. Is Rob does Pokemon. He like loves sealed stuff. He loves the look of it, and he loves like the Schrodinger cat aspect of it, like the big hit could be in there kind of thing. So I definitely get it, but yeah, I'm with you. Just for me personally, it's just not it's getting open.
yeah, and another thing with me, whatever I say, like I'm older, so I'm okay with like my friends having a different opinion than me. We can talk about it and not turn it into you're right, you're wrong.
Hmm.
It's you can like collecting sealed and graded cards and whatever you like. I'll collect my raw and open all my packs, and we should still be friends. You should be able to. We all like Pokemon, so I'm seeing a lot of people on Instagram like very opinionated about certain things and thinking that the other side is wrong. But we should agree that we have different opinions, and my opinion's not wrong and your opinion's not wrong, and it's just we just have different outlooks on it.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think that's really important, especially in this hobby, like where everyone is coming together over Pokemon. And it's like, as long as you're not scamming someone or doing something like outwardly,
Yeah, yeah. See, if
harmful
you're
to someone
scamming, then your
else.
opinion's wrong.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, but yeah, exactly. If you're not hurting anybody else and it's just an opinion, yeah, I love that because it it's everybody's
Yeah,
different and Pokemon is what brings us together. So not going to have different opinions about it divide us. That's just silly.
yeah, exactly.
So I guess I did scroll back pretty far on your Instagram and I was seeing some pretty pretty crazy clips of you skateboarding. How long were you doing that? How long was that a part of your life?
Yeah, yeah. So if you scroll down on my Instagram, you will see my Instagram used to be for my skateboarding clips. Like my friends would record me, and I never used to have an Instagram. I wasn't really like big on social media, and they were like, "Where do you want me to send this clip to?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You can just keep it because I don't have anywhere to post it." So that's kind of where my Instagram started. But I'm 33 years old right now. I started skateboarding in eighth grade, so I think I was like 13 or 14 or somewhere like around there. And I stopped skating maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. So I was skating for a good majority of my life.
Wow. And is that something you still keep up with? Like, is that something you follow, like other people who skateboard or stuff like that, or is that just kind of something that you really love to do and isn't really, yeah,
No, it's still like a really big part of my life. I still keep up with it. I still have friends in the industry. I hopefully gonna fix this issue with my back and get back to it eventually. But yeah, it was a really big part of my life. like back in high school, I was sponsored by a skate shop and had like a couple little like shop sponsors, which means like you're not getting paid, but you're getting product through the store. Like they're sending product to the store to be sold, and then they sponsor one of the riders to get like free product to kind of like promote the company. So I had that going on, but that shop closed, and I still skated for a really long time after that, but I started having back issues. So that's kind of I broke my ankle and my hand in the same year. And then that kind of took me out for a little bit, and then I started having back issues, which was like game over once that happened.
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking,
As you can see,
oh yeah,
got a skateboard hanging up right back there.
skateboard on the wall. If you don't mind me asking, I guess, did you have like a certain like an accident that ended up with your back hurting, or did it just kind of like back pain came out of nowhere kind of thing?
Um, I honestly have really bad posture, like when I'm sitting, and just like playing video games is my other hobby, kinda. So I think just me having bad posture, me sitting down, playing video games, and just along with getting older and falling skateboarding, like skateboarding is not a gentle thing to do to your body. So I think just over time something formed in my back, something wrong with the discs, I think, and it caused like nerve pain. So I think it was just a gradual over time. I didn't have like one bad fall or anything.
For sure. Well, dang. Yeah, I'm hoping you can get that figured out and get back on a skateboard eventually. That sounds, yeah, that'd be
Yeah, me
awesome
too.
for you. But I think along with Pokemon, a lot of people that collect Pokemon also love video games. So I'd love to know what video games you've playing recently, or what are some that you've really enjoyed.
Um, well, I'm about to start playing Diablo because I haven't gotten into that game, but I'm wanting to get into it because it seems up my alley. But me and my wife play Fortnite together because her little brother plays it, and he doesn't live in our state, so it's kind of fun for us all to play together. So I do that, and I just play a little bit of everything. Mostly
Awesome.
Borderlands is my favorite series.
Awesome. That's sweet. I love Borderlands. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, it's a good game.
What is your favorite one? Did you like Borderlands 3?
Yeah, I did. The story wasn't as good as other games, but I feel like the gameplay and the quality of life stuff they changed with it made it fun, made it a good game. I know it gets a little some flack because Borderlands 2, Borderlands 1, like the other games had such good stories, so the story kind of wasn't the best on 3, but the game was fun to play.
All right, all right. I'm with you. I'm with you. I haven't played it myself. I think that was the complaint some of my friends had, but at the end of the day, I think they still really enjoyed the gameplay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you big on like the Pokemon games at all? Did you ever play those as a kid, or play them now, or not so much?
Oh yeah. When I was a kid, I played the original games. I played blue, yellow, red. I actually got in trouble when I was a kid because one of my best friends, I took his blue because I wanted to play it and I didn't tell anybody. And my mom finally was like, "Hey, Graham was his name. Graham's game got lost. Do you know where it is?" And I told her I took it, and I got in some trouble for that. But mainly played the originals, and then Gold and Silver is probably the games I played the most, even though I'm like a Gen 1, like, old man. Gen 2 is probably the games I played the most, like Gold and Silver, where you could play through Johto and then go back to Kanto and beat all the gyms. I thought was so cool. I played I, I played lots of playthroughs through Gold and Silver, for sure. And then the modern game, me and Tiffany played. I haven't played the newest Pokemon, but we played the Sword and Shield together. She has Violet, so she's played the newest one. So I watched her play it, but I haven't played the newest one yet.
Nice. Yeah. Gold and Silver, those are my favorite Pokemon games. I thought that those were crazy. But yeah, the new ones are very okay to me. I think they still have like a lot of the appeal, but just the story and like the challenge isn't there as much. But I think a lot of people love them, so it's still great.
Yeah, I'm actually, if you know somebody, I'm gonna be in the market. I wanna eventually get either a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy Color, like kind of modded. I want to get like a backlight and stuff, and I want to start playing some of the older games again. Like that's been on my list of things that I want to do, but I haven't, I don't know where to go to get one. I don't want to
Oh,
get like a kind of halfway decent one. I want to go out all out and get a good quality one.
I know exactly who actually. I follow someone and we've actually talked back and forth a bunch. Gamer Girl Game Boy Mods. She makes the coolest custom Game Boys and they're backlit. You can get any type of like customization and stuff, different shells with different designs. She is like a Game Boy artist. Gamer Girl Game Boy Mods. Check
That's
her out on
awesome. You
Instagram for
gotta
sure.
send her account to me on Instagram
Oh, for sure, I will. But
because I
yeah,
definitely
that's
want to
super
pick one of
cool.
those up.
Oh yeah. But you know, I think I've about asked you all I want to that I've got questions for. But just I guess a closing statement. I always like to ask, what advice would you give to someone just coming into the hobby right now in 2024?
Do your research. Don't just join a whatnot stream and buy everything on there. Do your research, find out cards you like, find out sets you like, start slow, get on Instagram, make friends, connect on Instagram. Just I would just say connect with people. Don't just go crazy and just see someone like the Moonbreon and be like, oh, I need to save all my money and get the Moonbreon or something crazy. Like just start slow, make friends on Instagram, do lots of research. That's like my big thing. Like I see a lot of stuff on Instagram where it's like if people just did a little bit of research on stuff, like just spend some time searching cards, searching sets, just looking through eBay, type in random things, just type in Mudkip, if that's your favorite Pokemon, just look at all of the listings, just I would say research, research, research. Like just make sure you know what you're buying and then make friends. Get on Instagram, make some friends, and that's it. I was just gonna say I'm gonna try to go live on Instagram more. So
Dude,
expect
yes,
more of
I
me. I'm gonna try to be opening. I want to bring back the opening stuff on Instagram lives.
heck yeah. I love when people go live on Instagram. You can find Corey on Instagram at keddycollects. Give him a follow. Make sure that you be on the lookout for when he goes live. I know I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some product. I'm gonna get some stuff to open. A new card shop just moved from like a 30-minute city away to our city. So they have Japanese product, English stuff. So I'm gonna definitely be trying to get some product and going live more, and it's gonna be fun. Make sure to
Heck
follow
yeah,
him
dude.
too.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're
despite
already
my
following him
name.
if you're watching this video, but
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming on again. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
yeah, of course, it was fun. I hope you have a
Heck
good
yeah.
day too, man. Talk to you later.
All right. Peace.